I am no different than anyone else. I have dreams, I have goals. I laugh, I cry, I get angry, I feel joy, and sometimes despair. But not for long, because I have the mentality of a fighter pilot. There's nothing I can't do. I just need the opportunity to try.
This is actually a fulfillment of a dream of Leonard Link. You have an individual that's Down syndrome that wanted to participate and do things like everybody else. And our community said, no, you can participate in Special Olympics or a segregated recreation program. He was a terrific bowler, loved to bowl, and he wanted to bowl on a regular bowling team here in town, which I thought would be great. So after going through all three bowling centers here in Battle Creek and trying to get him on a league or signed up for a league, sanctioned or non-sanctioned, and it didn't happen, we said, forget this, we'll just, come up with a bowling league of our own.
Working with Linda from the inception of this program, I was quite surprised at how many doors were closed and how many hurdles were there for the group and how hard it was to overcome some of these things. Getting acceptance is such a tough job, and when Linda Link took on this mission of creating CIR and getting recreational opportunities for everyone, it wasn't easy.
Anytime you can break down a barrier or misconception about anything, I think that's a positive. And that certainly has happened with attitudes. And attitudes being one of the biggest barriers that individuals with disabilities face, or as our agency has faced, and as we move forward to make our community more inclusive.
The evolution of inclusive recreation, it's been a long road, and in the early part of the 20th century, people with disabilities were institutionalized. And then came segregated recreation, and now we're at the point where we realize that with certain supports that it's a better opportunity, it's a better learning experience, it's a better community when everyone is included.
Inclusive means that everybody can have fun, everybody can do things. No one is left out, everybody is given the same opportunities.
It's more than just having fun, even though that's a major part of it. It is about being an example for how a community can engage meaningfully and capitalize the full potential of every person, despite anyone's perceived limitations.
CIR is community. It's not about who has a disability or who doesn't have a disability. It is about people coming together to recreate together, which is absolutely a key component of any healthy community.
CIR started with 20 participants. We now have over 2,300 participants. That growth has been a result that our programs are all-inclusive. Everyone in the community is invited to participate in our program. From all walks of life, individuals with and without disabilities are welcome to come together, have fun, make new friends, and enjoy a good time. We started with bowling because bowling was the #1 activity that individuals with disabilities continued to say that they wanted to do. I feel personally that that's because no one really ever asked them if they'd like to do anything else.
To get participation, you need to go kind of beyond what is typically offered to people with disabilities and typically offered at the local level.
We have participants that are doing adaptive water skiing now. We have participants that are golfing 9 holes of golf. We have over 50 things that we do throughout the year, 50 different programs and activities. We have done power parasailing. We have gone to Michigan Adventure and taken advantage of all the rides there, including roller coasters. And for a lot of individuals with disabilities, they've never been to an amusement park. And for some of those that are chair users, they've never been on rides because most rides do not accommodate a chair. So we've figured out ways to accommodate everybody.
It's hard to reinvent the wheel in recreation, and CIR really tries to stay on the cutting edge of trends and give people choices that they don't normally find in other rec organizations.
We may be a recreation provider, but we are also very knowledgeable in additional supports that work successfully in other areas. So we can get people connected, and CIR really tries to empower the individual so that they're confident and comfortable of doing things without being so dependent on others.
One of the things that CIR really prides itself on is the fact that we have different levels of service. We have a level of service where we try to do everything. Then as people learn more, then they go on to another level of service, which is less. The more people can do for themselves, the less CIR has to do.
I've seen it several times with CIR that people with disabilities perhaps have gone from living in foster care home to now they live independently.
CIR has done its part in taking people from being fully dependent on everybody to having other people depend on them. It expands what the individual can do, and when the individual does more, then the community benefits.
How wonderful is it to have an individual with a disability that's been involved with our agency serve on boards? That's where policies change. That's where new procedures are implemented. And that's really kind of the direction that our agency has taken over the last 9 years. Everyone has something to contribute to our community. Regardless who you are, regardless what your ability is, you have something to contribute.
CIR provides opportunities for people with and without disabilities, and it's an all-encompassing life experience. And to see participants who lacked skills or lacked autonomy grow and become productive members of society, that's what it's all about.
A lot of times participants will say that they're like a cocoon, and as a result of our agency they're now a butterfly. And I think Len would be very proud of that. I'm very proud of that.